days before Christmas, the longest day of the year. The African sun burning hot and bright on a dusty road. He slowly walked from the beach with a broken heart. The white Mercedes stopped and our lives changed forever. Back door open, my holiday dream came true. He climbed in next to his bikini girl sitting inside. Mother turned to talk to him. We couldn't speak, silently my green eyes said everything brave and unafraid. On my lips I mouthed the words that still wake him when he sleeps. I said, find me. He said, I'll try. He caught the kiss I blew from a disappearing car in a caravan city by two rivers running wide. Two runaway hearts on the longest day collide. I said, find me. And he has every day since 1971. He's still finding me and he's never gonna be done. I said, find me. He said, I'll try. I said, I'm Jenny. He said, I'm yours. I said, save me. He said, I will. I said, kiss me. He did. I said, take me. He said, I do. I said, hold me. He has. Lunchtime came and went. We both went to find lost love. We walked the dusty paths, praying for another chance. The bell above the country store rang out like the wedding chimes. I looked up from a love story, and that story looked at him. No words yet, just my smile pulling him into my world. I walked past him, beckoning, looking back. He followed like the tide. First thing he ever said to me underneath that sunny African sky: what's your name to find you if we lose this perfect chance? I said, I'm Jenny. He said, I'm yours. I laughed, so he said, you're Ian. We walked down to the sanctuary where two wild rivers roar hand in hand like we've been lovers in 100 lives before. Sun went down in gold and crimson and starlight began to pour. Sitting in each other's arms till our hearts could take no more. I said, find me. He said, I'll try. I said, I'm Jenny. He said, I'm yours. I said, save me. He said, I will. I said, kiss me. He did. I said, take me. He said, I do. I said, hold me. He has. 2 days later, Christmas Eve, Fairy Knowe beneath the palms. We left the dance hand in hand towards grassy river banks. With moonlight reflecting off the river, love got its chance. And now 70, 55 years can't erase the magic of our first kiss. From the mountains of Africa and the Canadian Rockies to these Panama hills, through every storm and every sunrise, he's been kissing me still. We were 15 and 16 when that longest day of that year stood still. I'll blow your last kiss across this jungle's night. Please catch it like you caught it. And on that dusty road, hold it to your heart that's only ever been mine. 55 summers since the solstice, when we first said hello. You found me, and I'm never ever letting you go. I said, find me. He said, I'll try. I said, I'm Jenny. He said, I'm yours.
By running away from mother in Canada back to Africa, I bet on you. I love you so very, very much. I'm all yours now. Please always love me, forever.
This photo is from my wedding day. The video you're about to see is of Ian and I on our honeymoon 7 years after we'd first met and fell in love in the wilderness. It's a triumphant video. Our love story had survived the cruelest attacks imaginable for 7 years, culminating in me running away from mother in Canada to marry Ian in Cape Town. In the video, I tell Ian about my dream. Keep in mind that in 1979, the first PCs were just being launched and there was no internet yet. I'd need that for my dream to come true.